which is great because one of my goals is really kind of bridge the gap among those different sectors, because we have been operating our own things in the silo for quite a long time. And so for today's is really kind of casual conversation to meet and to get to know each other, and also introduce some of my workflow and also the way how I can help you to either improve your AI skill or maybe getting everything started, because now it's everywhere, like the AI is everywhere. And if you're looking at LinkedIn, it's all the conversation is about AI, how AI is shaping our industry and all the big companies doing it. So so that's for that purpose. And I'm going to share my screen so we can see, let's see, my entire screen. There you go. Before we kind of delve into the whole workflow, I just want to give you guys an overview of the tools, the system, how I approach with using it. I'm sure a lot of you have already used in a way. I'm not really sure where you are right now. I know Gary is pretty expert in this field. So yeah, can you guys see my screen? Yes. So I'm talking, I have like split screen, so I'm talking from another screen. So I'm talking to you guys, even though I'm looking at another screen. Let's see. Good. People here. There you go. I should have set my Microsoft team as just allowing everybody in, because this is, I have to press every single one of you to allow you inside of the room. So I'm still learning as well. So you guys can see this cover page, right? DAF Lab Production. So DAF is my company, Digital AI Fashion Lab. And so today's topic is just introduction of AI for fashion design, the tools and the workflow and the system. So basically, just kind of a background of my background, a little bit introduction, quick introduction. I'm not going to talk a long time in here. So in my company, DAF Lab, I have these two initiatives and two branch of this kind of under the umbrella of my company, which is one is a studio. So I have posted some teaser images on my LinkedIn. And if any of you want to test it, please let me know. So I'm scouting the people. It's a kind of small group. And the studio basically is an innovation platform that allows you to take your visuals and take your your generated garment to production. So before you're manufacturing your garment, so we're talking about tech packs, POM, your sourcing, and all those boring stuff. Everything is boring stuff, but it's so important. Oh my gosh, it's very important, that part. And so I created that because I have seen a lack of knowledge in academia. So if any of you working in the school and you taught at school or you're teaching at school, we have seen very a huge gap of students understanding the real world and doesn't understand the grading, doesn't understand the logic of garment, only working on one standard size, which is size 8, doesn't know how to grade down, grade up. So I think this platform can help to bridge that type of knowledge from transition the students from students and to the industry. Also, this is great for the people who work in the industry. If you have your own brand, if you're creating your own business, you don't have the budget or amount of money to afford buying the PLM system. So we're talking about those big four dominating the entire industry. They are extremely expensive, like Centric and Electra. You only can access to the system if you work for the corporation. And we're talking about, a very high level corporation, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, PVH. So then you're looking down, there's basically nothing under there. So then we have the situation that our designers fill in the Excel sheet. So we open the Excel sheet and we start to type in, this is shoulder, this is sleeve, etc. So my goal is really helping that group of the people, providing the program that can allow you to move faster and making your job a little bit easier. So the learn is part of this. So today's concession is part of the learn. I'm hoping this can be continual session that we can get together and help you to answer any questions that you have with AI, and also guide you through different platforms that I use. So that's the learn. Yeah. So let's talk about the current situation right now in the market. So basically, I kind of separated those as 3 different tiers. This gives you an overview of what's going on in the AI. So when you're talking about AI models, we're talking about those very specific models that created by foundation companies, which is Google and OpenAI, which is GPT. And they're also Black Forest, and they have their product called Flux. I didn't list it here because for me, I use Banana and Image 1.5 the most. But just that you have also other options in here as well. And Qwen, which is from Alibaba. So those are all very notable frontier. So if you have heard the words frontier models, those are them. And Midjourney sit on its own area. So the company never exposed what type of model training they use for creating their AI images, and they don't lease out their API. So it's its own thing. And then In the center, they are not AI, okay? So they are platforms. So the platform means that you open the platform and now you have access to different models. So those are AI. This is platform. So the one that I kind of grouped them together because I want to show you different level of the platform. This is my personal kind of opinion. It doesn't represent the entire body of the group of people because, we all have, personal preference. But so far, the more we're talking about high professional level of platform, if you have this, or if you learn inside those two, which is Comfy UI, and this is Vivi. So Vivi now is a part of Figma. So that's a signaling a professional level of creative tool. So it's no longer a toy. Yeah, we do have a whole bunch of toy AI out there as well. So those two, in my personal opinion, represent the highest level of platform. So if you use those, and if you tell your customers, or if you, showing that on your resume, or if you're trying to transition your job to a different company, if you have those in your resume, that really can add a level of expertise in the AI. So that's Comfy and Vivi, but also it comes with certain challenge as well, because it's a little bit harder to learn, especially Comfy UI. It's a little bit steep, but Comfy UI just released their cloud version. So as others, the Comfy has a local native one. The native that you download is that software that you download. All the data, all the information that you use in the local Comfy is private, so nobody can have access to see it. Versus cloud version, meaning that Vivi, this is Flora, this is Korea, and FreePike, all those are cloud-based, meaning that you kind of voluntarily willing to upload your work or uploading your information down there. But for most of us, unless you consider this for your company, I think it's a little bit harder, when we're talking about institution level or kind of like corporation level. So that's why we haven't really seen much of movement in there, because this part of the data information, this part is a little bit tricky. But if you do this as a personal, conscious individual user, it's totally fine, right? So we use Pinterest all the time. We download stuff and we use that and kind of like alter. This is kind of same idea. So then creative direction, I put Flora and the Korea in here because creative direction, some of those AI I haven't used. I hadn't used like every single AI tool out there, but I have used those. I haven't used Korea because I saw what it does. So Flora is a simpler version of Vivi. I will show you guys when we finish this part. Again, inside you can take a look. And why I call it creative direction, because it's easier. It's a little bit easier to move around and creating your outputs of images very fast. So rapid output, I put FreePike in here. If any of you have heard or used this before, this is cheaper in comparison. So Flora is cheaper than Vivi, and Vivi is a little bit pricier because it just offers more in there, so you pay a little bit more. FreePike is like think about your production pipeline, like your factory. So you're producing tons of images. So this is producing images. It doesn't create a system. I don't think you can create a very organized and structured system in there. So branding AI is a Keeve and a Lovart. Those two are really great, especially Keeve. Think about Pinterest. Think about the Pinterest. This is AI version of Keeve. So when you open, it's like all the visuals. All you need to do is type in, I want oversized fashion silhouettes, and it will provide you all different, sort of images that you can pick and choose. And then from there, you can swap the garments, product, etc. So this is really great for branding, but it's not good for design. Yeah. So the Lovart is the same idea. So this is all branding, marketing. So once you have everything, once you have your garments, you know what your campaign going to look like. Then I'm uploading everything to social. Then you might want to look into this because it really kind of like you upload one image and they just create an entire campaign for you around that image. So then beginner level, we have Higgsfield and we have OpenArt. If any of you have used those, this is I would say very user-friendly, but it doesn't give you quite structured or organized system as others. So then fashion specialized, we have Newark and we have Raspberry. And there are also Camera. I think Gary mentioned earlier, that's also for fashion. So there are many of the tools out there. One thing that you want to consider is you want to evaluate, I think I just disappeared. What you want to consider is that what type of user are you? So you have to evaluate yourself. What is my goal? What I want to achieve? If I'm a student or if I'm a fashion designer, I want to use a tool that can help me to come up with entire end-to-end concept and design, then you want to use more, in here, in this range. If I'm doing social media content creator, I want to create viral content to get really, a lot of traffic, then you might want to consider branding and also Higgsfield. Higgsfield is really cool that you can do UGC, so which is user created content. So you generate AI influencer, then do all different kind of stuff. Yeah, so now, And now talking about my way of doing the AI and the way how I think I benefit the most or I get the most out of AI is to create a system. So before when I was doing the Midjourney, I felt that I was treating the AI like a slot machine. I just press a button, then I just have a whole bunch of images. And I'm like, oh, this is cool, or this doesn't look good. So in the end, you felt that a lot of things were images that you generated you couldn't use because yes, you have pretty images, right? It's really hard to see where those images go. Like where should I put those? So that's why I think Wavy or the node-based, which is like dragging the lines, are so helpful because they help you to structure your workflow, that you kind of rewire your thinking process. So it's no longer just creating tunnel vision of creating a pretty image. Now we're looking at the entire system. So this entire system, I kind of created this entire system. You can think about how you apply that and maybe try it on your own. So what do you want to think? Like you rewire your brain, okay? So what do you want to think? You think yourself as conductor. So meaning that you are no longer a fashion student. You are no longer a fashion designer. You are creative director, even though you are not. Like I'm not. I'm just a professor at Savannah College of Art and Design. Yeah, but I'm telling my brain that I am a creative director of this mega fashion brand. I'm operating millions of dollars of assets to create fashion that can be successful. So once you keep telling you that, then you are going to assign your AI. So you kind of putting your AI into different role. So now I have, think about your invisible team. I have a department of design, department of production, and I have department of marketing. So then you tell your AI from here, stage one, you tell chat or you tell your cloud, you are senior director or senior designer at this brand like Coach, and your job is to create fall and winter 2028 women's wear collection. This collection has to include certain material, certain silhouettes, etc. You gave the chat or cloud a brief. You write a brief, you give it to AI, and you tell AI to do it for you. So if you think about this scenario in real life, you kind of, if you're at director level, you do the same thing. You have a meeting and you have your designers, you have your vendors, and you have this and that. So imagine those people, imagine those AI are those people. So then that will make everything make sense, right? So then the AI create all those kind of ideas for your concept. Then from there, you take that into runway. And from the runway, then you take that to the actual product. So now I want this shirt, or I want this pants, I want this bag. So you kind of single out each one of the product, the key product, you create your line sheet. And from there, you are going to take that to kind of pre-production process, which is specs, sourcing, and all those, right? And then from there, you send it to your factory, and you have factory that work with you, or you have the vendor that work with you, and you're gonna work with them and get your product back. And then you come back to AI and then start to do the branding. And then from branding, then this is will all land into your homepage or website, and then you do socials, right? So we can orchestrate the entire thing. 1, 2, 4, and 5, all those in today's time in the AI. You don't need a photographer, you don't need the model and all those. You can do all those together in AI in any of the platform I just introduced earlier. The tricky part is stage 3, because so far all the AI can do great images, but this is where it's lacking. So that's why I created the studio. So the studio is filling the gap in between your collection and bridge that part to the finished product. So this is a pre-production. So inside of the studio, what you do is concept design. This app doesn't do concept design as Wavy. So you do all those creative iteration in Wavy or in Flora. And after that, you upload into the studio. So you upload into studio will turn that into flats front and back. And then from there, the studio will spec the entire thing for you according to your desired silhouette. I want this to be contemporary, fitted, this and that, right? And then it will give you automated specs with detailed information, also the grading from extra small to extra large. And then it goes into kind of production and quality control. You send this to the factory and work with your pattern maker and your factory, and you look at your prototype and see how that fits from there. So this will give you a very fast way to get your measurements done without you manually typing everything. Yeah. So this is kind of like a summary of everything. I will send the PDF to you guys in the chat after we finish. Yeah. Does anyone have questions so far?
Hi, MJ. Thank you so much for running through all of that. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
I did have a quick question. If you had to pick your favorite AI program, which would you pick? Like, which is the most versatile for most things?
Okay, so I'm going to come back to this page. I think this is also, I got lots of people asking me the question, which one should I pick? Should I pick Flora or Wavy, etc.? My favorite is, so my recommendation is you cannot just do one. Okay, so why? Because you need to have LLM, large language model. You have to do a chat as a subscription to get your prompt in there, or Gemini, either one of these, or Cloud if you use Cloud. So you need to have one of this, Cloud, Gemini, chat. You have to have one of this. Then when it comes to platform, I'm in here. So because I went through, like I have done Midjourney, I have done Higgsfield. I use a little bit OpenArt. I tried UArt. I kind of like tried a little bit of a lot of those. And I figured that Vivi delivers the more structured and organized workflow that really helped me understand the reason why I'm using AI, what I'm going to get, what I want to get. So some of others, for me, it's like slot machine, right? I put it in and I press a button and I wait to see what I get. Some of those feel kind of like that, and then it doesn't really. It's not very suitable for my need, and also I'm a professor, so I teach the course in the class. So for the students, they need to understand the reason, the logic of using AI. If I introduce a Higgs field in the class, first they have they have pretty aggressive marketing, because they always like sign up this and you get 85% off on this and that. So it just doesn't speak professional to me. But as far as the ease of use, yes, it's super easy to use. My recommendation for any of you in here who never used AI or like this, you just like looked at other people using it, I think sign up Higgs field just for 1 month and choose that starting like the cheapest option. Starting from there, get a feel and see what's inside. So that will give you a good idea of what AI is capable of. Because a lot of times that if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend you jumping to Baby because it's a little bit too hard for you. So you can get lost easily in here. And just to see how wire thing works is very overwhelming. So I would say if your starting point, you never used AI before, then starting from beginner level. So I would do Higgsfield or Midjourney, either one of this. So today I still have Midjourney subscription because Midjourney is really this kind of magical tool that opens up a lot of options. It doesn't follow your instruction. it does its own thing, but it's a really great brainstorming tool. Yes, Keith. Hi, Keith. Sorry.
Hi. Yeah, I've been using a lot of these, and some of them. I mean, the pricing is all over the map.
Yeah.
As you point out. I like Newark for the purpose I'm using it for.
Yes.
When I need a very accurate rendering of a garment. They have a. You can get a free usage for I don't know how many days or whatever it is, but they also have a lot of videos that walk you through. But it is pretty darn simple. It's not like some of the others where you're crafting prompts and all this kind of stuff. But,
to kind of go back to the Newark. Newark is really awesome. Newark, if you have a drawing, like rough sketch, or if you have flat drawing that you need that to be rendered or turn that into a realistic photograph of product, then yes, I think Newark is excellent. It follows your instruction in color and also gives you really great outcome. But it doesn't, it's not like you prompt and creating concept. So back to that point of you really have to consider what type of user you are. If my intent of using AI is to turn a white and black sketch into a photograph, then I would say try Newark because it does a really great job. It like follow your line and it doesn't change anything. So it gives you the exact how you wanted your product to look like. But if you are a user, I'm trying to come up with this whole designing process from concept creation to fabric board or to Pantone color choices and to fashion runway to editorials, etc. Then you cannot use Newark to do that. Newark is turning a product, turning a white and black sketch to a photograph. That's it. That's all they do. And I believe, you can also do some other things as well in there, but I think their key selling point is turn white and black sketch into a really great product.
But actually, they've added a number of features. You can take a photograph, for instance, and convert it into a line drawing.
Something like that.
You can put a garment on a figure. You can create a video out of a figure. I mean, the wild thing about this all of these guys are adding features nearly every day. That's why it's so cool to look at this stuff because every day, wow, I can't believe they added that. So.
And back to that, I also want to remind you guys, if you say, okay, I'm going to sign up one, make sure you don't sign up yearly, annual. Sign up only monthly, okay? We go month to month because yearly is cheaper. Look at, per month is much cheaper, but then because it moves so fast, it moves really fast, and then next week, you don't know, like maybe, there's a new platform come out. Lofars just came out like a few months ago. It didn't even exist last year. So everything come out like moving so fast, you don't want to trap in one platform because it doesn't really give you any advantage if you kind of lock yourself in one. Yes, and any questions? Jane, did you raise your hand?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I'd like to see you again, Prof. And thanks for sharing. I do have a fun question. In this whole industry, we have like merchandiser, buyer, designer, tag, production designers and stuff. Among all these roles, which one do you think is the most replaceable by AI? And which one do you think will be the last one to get replaced by AI?
Well, I think there's no, I don't really think it's like replaced or not. It's, I would say the people who don't use AI will be replaced. That's it. Yeah, as simple as that. If you don't use AI, if you just put your head in the sand and you pretend nothing happened, and then, well, yeah, then you maybe one of the day, then you get
How
replaced.
fast would you say it's gonna take?
How fast?
Yeah, like all of a sudden, there's people who don't use AI will be like.
I think this question is really hard to predict. It's really hard to say when are you going to be replaced or when the companies start to laying off people. It depends on the adoption of the AI. Luckily for fashion, we always very slow. We don't really embrace technology as fast as other industry, so that gives you guys more advantage, more time to like catch up and learn as much as you can. If you become one of the only few in your company know this, then they will lay off other people before you. They will save you because you know how to do all those. And if you know a lot of AI knowledge and know how to use AI to help company to save money or creating better revenue, and you will not only you are not going to be replaced, you might be able to have better opportunity to ladder up your career. So this is well, for me, I think this is a time that if you felt that you are in one place, you haven't been able to move around for a long time, this is a chance, this is an opportunity, and then you just like work really hard and learn everything you can and start to post your stuff out there, just like me. So like I'm doing everything I can. Like I just posting stuff on LinkedIn all the time, and then I get people contact me and sending me an email. Then I was able to create this session with you guys. So I don't think it's necessary to think about whether AI is good or not, or is AI going to replace you. I think those are just noise. You ignore all those, just say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to sign up today. I'm going to choose one platform and just do one today. Then I will kind of like be very disciplined. I will see where I go. And then from there, then you can explore more. And if you have a community, if you come to the community like this and you can share what you created, like what's your questions? What should I do to make it better? Then we can kind of like, I can help you to guide you through the process. But if we just sit here and always pondering this question, you don't move anywhere. Yeah, so I think a lot of the same talk on LinkedIn, people just, the AI is going to do this, is like doom talk. I think we can just ignore that. We can just like do it. Yeah, so Helen, do you have a question?
Yeah, thank you. It's been really interesting. I didn't know there were so many different AI options out there. I'm just curious because when I've tried using AI, I've used like Newark and some other ones for creating imagery, but I really struggled with knowing what prompts to write and kind of just knowing where to start because it's difficult to go a T-shirt that has
yes. Yeah, a red T-shirt with logo on the right. So that's kind of like the way how we put the prompt in. Yes, I think that's a really great question. What I found out is. Why use I was just like you. I can like write, I wanted the red dress and it's a silk material. It's so like basic and minimum, and you get all the images that you couldn't use. The best way to do this is to work with your chat or Gemini or Cloud. Let your LLM to help you to write. So you tell chat, I'm going to create a T-shirt with a logo, with this flower logo on the right. Help me to come up with several prompts that can make my T-shirt attractive, appealing, and trendy. So then it will give you all different options. It will give you this is prompt 1, this is prompt 2. So it's so great because when you see all those options, you're like, oh my gosh, I never thought about this. So then you copy that prompt. Yeah, you copy that prompt and you throw that inside of one of the AI tool, and you choose Nano Banana. Then you choose Nano Banana 2. So because this is the best image model right now at the moment, the best, the most realistic, the most reasonable, and doesn't move things on drifting around. So that this is the best. You can also just, if you have Gemini prescription, that's also a way for you to try it out. You just do that in the chat box and see what it does. But the only thing that I wouldn't recommend to stay there too long is because it's this chat type of format. You lose your kind of flow very quickly. Then you start losing this structure very quickly, and you kind of forget where you are, where you were. So I would say choose one, pay one, just pay 1 month. It's not expensive. We're talking about maybe this is the most expensive one. So it's only I have a pro subscription. Which is kind of middle tier, $45 per month. $45 per month for you is like for us is nothing. You go out and have a dinner and you spend like easily like $60 and $70. $45 is nothing, and you get about over 4,000 credit, and you can create pretty decent amount of images in there. Yeah. So you can also do Flora. Flora is really great. If you're beginner, if you're thinking about a node base, then I would starting from Flora because it's a little bit easier. It's cheaper. It's a little bit easier. So I think there is another. Tati, do you have a question?
Yes. Thank you again, MJ, for this. I just want to confirm, we're only talking about like AI programs that generate more like starting with the ideation into creating visuals, runway, all of that. Now, you did mention that the studio does provide at one point the BOM and maybe the tech packs.
Yes, correct.
All right. That's great, but I wanted to see and I know Close 3D and Browser are not AI per se, they do have AI embedded features in them. So I see that there's a little like maybe miss the link there.
Yeah.
When I do teach AI on the workflow and then one that you spoke about, I always position Browseware and Clo. I teach Clo, so like I'm more Clo, driven. I relate it because it creates BOM, stack packs, and all of that, and even they have a PLM system they're creating that can like move you to production development at least, before production and pre-production and finally production.
Yes.
So where do you usually situate? Like, do you recommend people use these kind of things so people can like explore their 2D side, like their pattern making? They have the XF files at this point and tech packs ready.
Yes.
How do you position that?
So I think I will show you guys what's inside of the studio. When you use Clo or Browseware, I'm not like 3D program expert at all, but I have seen our students using it and creating the am I still here? Oh, yeah.
I guess you only have 50 minutes left.
Yes, it went so fast. So you can create a PLM and in Clo or in the Browseware. But I think I can show you what it does. I think not everybody has a Clo or Browseware subscription. It's not cheap as well. So I think this can provide more like AI to AI workflow rather than AI to 3D, then back to AI flow. Mm-hmm. So I think that having this kind of AI ecosystem help you to streamline a lot of moving around into the different programs. So you jump from Illustrator to this, and then you jump to 3D, then you jump back to AI. So we're talking about multiple jumping around the software. So if we get into the AI ecosystem, so it will make much more sense if you stay in the AI system and just kind of like going from end to end. So that's my opinion. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that you can also take the Clo generated image and you put into AI, recreate videos. By the way, Clo animation sucks and they are so bad, and you spend long time render and also those avatars just doesn't look very good.
I know. We use like several things to get like it needs so many like help to get to where they need to be. Yeah. But it does have a plus. And one other thing I want to discuss, I did discover WisCom lately. It's another AI. Yeah, and I felt like it really integrates a lot of these apps that you spoke about that I had also experimented with on my own. But it does include a lot of those all in one. Yes. So I think there's somebody to look into as well. I find them very they're up and coming and they have a great new feature.
Yes. Then we have more questions. Does anyone else have questions? If not, I can share you guys what the studio look like. If anyone interested in take a look.
Sorry.
Yes, Alex. Yes, go ahead.
So, I really am interested to see your studio. Those are my questions. I did have a couple questions. I'll try to just ask one since we're limited on time. But how do you feel about the proprietary nature of the AI workflows that you publish and the AI work that you create and publish? And just like, I know it's important to share your work to show kind of where you are and how far you progressed in your professionalism in that, like, in the AI workflow world. But I just kind of wanted to wonder how you thought about that.
Well, I don't. I think that's a great question, and for me personally, I don't really hold anything back. I don't think that's the way, at least for me, I don't think that's the way how I operate, because I think the more we share, then you will learn more and you will get better. And of course, then it comes with all those different ethical kind of principles, the copyright and this and that, all those issues that comes together as a whole bag. So you got like super great things and you got super bad things in that whole basket. So how do we filter that through? Which is, I don't think I have any suggestion or recommendation in that term, because it's like beyond our control. It's really matters. It comes down to how the frontier models they create, rules and all different way of approaching this. But for me as an individual user or as a company founder, then I share everything. I share my template. I share my Wavy template out there, because I think the more that people can access to this, if you find this to be helpful, you access to this, I think then more people, more kind of like vibrant in the community would be, and you will create something that can be very helpful for me as well. Like, I don't know everything, but I know what I'm able to for now. So I think, okay, I'm going to share this because I got a lot of template from other people too. So those are all the template from different people in the community, and some people did the bags, and some people, the Wavy has their own template. This is inside of their Wavy. They have tutorials. They have a tutorial for creating fashions, creating videos, and there are many, many things in here. That's why I think Wavy is really great in terms of curating the content and to be, kind of like that benchmark that the AI. So this is the platform that I felt very kind of speaks to me in that professional level. Again, so I think a lot of those platforms are great, Newark, WisCom, and all those. You just have to find one that speaks to you. So like, for example, this one, if I open this, so this goes inside of what's happening. So then if I zoom this in, this is the wearables, their new feature that I used. So the wearables is that I created 5 different structures of the wearables. You have silhouette wearables, fabrics, colors, prints, scene, and you can do accessories. You can do any sort of the items that you want to create wearables. And that's why it's so cool, because what are you doing here? You just swap all those different wearables and creating different combinations. Yeah, Teki, do you have a question? Oh, I see your hand. Okay, so yeah. No. Then you can see in here, I have all the models. The models I use is just Gemini and GPT, but you have lots of model options in here. If you go to new node and you have image models, and you have lots of models in here, Imagine, Flux, etc. Like all those different models inside of VB. So which is making, really great. You have all those options that you can try it, but not all the models come out great. I think the best one are the Nano Banana and the GPT. So then, then from here, I chose one that I like and I turn them into product. So I turn them into all those product and then save them, and I take that into the studio. So this is Flora. It's a very similar setup, but their interface is much more simplified, and it's a little bit easier for you to kind of create your images. So if I zoom in, so then you can see the global brand master prompt. So this is you acting as creative director for the company. Okay. So somebody just joined. Okay. And then this is kind of the prompt I put in here. I didn't write the entire thing, but I know what I want. I tell GPT, I want this. Can you help me to rewrite my prompt? So the GPT will give you options, and then you bring that in here, and you link that into the image. So this image will speak the mood and the concept, the idea of what the collection going to kind of develop into. So so this is Flora, and then you can do all fabrics and different seasons. So the great thing about Node Canvas is that everything is in one space. Some others, you can do the Newark and the Viscom and other like Midjourney, everything else. They all kind of output into kind of individual sectors. You have to download. Maybe you have to put that in the Photoshop on your own. But this is all living in one space, which makes it really great. So now I'm going to show you guys the studio, my product. I was doing something in here, so it has a little bit flats in here. So when you open it, let me just like refresh this so I can show you what it looks like. If you have any questions, let me know, okay? When you open the studio, so you have two different modes. You have designer mode and technical mode. So the designer mode is a little bit kind of like a simplified version. If you just want to have this idea quickly and not going into every single detail, then you can upload from here. So then I have a folder with a whole bunch of images in here. This is the one I was using. So for me, like usually I want to test out some idea, then I want to see the fit. I want to create a design kind of like this idea. So I want to see, or it can be your own drawing as well. You can upload, or your own product. If you have already made samples, you upload in here. And you have close-up details, fabric material, models reference, and labeling and packaging. So those are 4 option images that you can upload, and those will influence the outcome of your design. The more detail that you gave, the better. So like, for example, I have some models in here, so I can upload her in here. So I want this to be kind of fitted to her, or it can be a face. It can be a face, it can be a full body. So then this is auto draft brief, because I know we hate doing the prompt and I know that. So then I actually kind of coded where I designed this. We just click buttons. We do auto prompt. So what this does is it's looking at the picture and start to extracting all the key points for your prompt. And this is specific prompt to create technical flats. So it's not one giant paragraph. It's actually use the JSON prompt that I structured, only pick out the key areas. So then you have silhouette, then you have construction, then you have material trim, etc. to fit. And all those can be editable. So you can actually go in there, then you can type in, if there's something that you want to change, you can change this with no problem, especially the one that say review required. This is where, do I want the chain weight at neck, or maybe I don't need that. Then I can delete that thing right there. Or is there any other things that you want to change? You can change that. But usually I just leave it in here. So on the right side, you have fit settings. So you have close fit, standard fit, roomy fit, and oversized fit. So this is what I designed. Standard fit is kind of universal fitting. So it's like size medium, size small, kind of if you think about more commercial type of fitting. And close fit is more like second skin. So super tight, compression type of clothes, so very tight spandex, underwear, swimwear, etc. The roomy fit is casual. So something more like streetwear, casual fitting, more relaxed. And oversized is fashion forward. So I created all those different type of fitting for different, users. If you run a certain designs, then you can choose which one that you want to use. But for the most part, it's standard fit. For this one, it's standard fit. And in the designer mode, you don't have much of options in here. You just generate tech pack from here, right? But if you swap this to technical mode is a lot of information. Technical mode has fabric directions, so it will read your reference image. It will provide suggestion. What type of fabric would work for this type of silhouettes, right? Because as a student, sometimes I have a design, but I'm not very familiar with the fabric type. I know how I can make a good drawing, but when it comes to fabric, I really have a blank idea. So then Studio will create 3 different fabric choices, and you can do some search, silk chiffon, georgette, or viscose georgette, and then you pick and choose which one that you like. So then you click generate tech pack. So we have auto in here. So everything this, and I just click create tech pack. I'm making this one. This is 100. So then this. So what in here is it's a really cool function. You can show the POM assist. So when you show POM assist, because I coded the POM as autofills suggested POM, but you can also look if you click advanced, and it shows you all different options in here. And usually I don't linger in here too long, so I just kind of quickly browse this and see what's this auto POM look like. Then I close this up, and I will look at all those stuff in here, flag rows, and then I apply imported spec. After I applied imported spec, and so in here, in the project manager, and this is where that you want to make sure that you select your archetype. So your garment archetype has to make sense. Right now, it's a knit t-shirt. This is like default in here, so you have to manually go in there. So what I do is this gave you draft, original design. So for me, it's a reference source because I'm using this as a benchmark for fitting. So this is a reference. But if you're doing your own kind of production, you can do production adjusted or final proof. So there's 3 different stages. So reference, grade market, we have menswear, women's wear, and children's. So those are the 3 sectors. So the archetypes. So right now, the archetypes are very comprehensive in my view because I'm working on this a lot. But it still hasn't really covered the entire range of the garments archetypes. But this is good enough for those comprehensive archetypes that we commonly see in the market. So for the shirts and tops, we have woven, knit, tank, hoodie, knit cardigan, knit sweater. So this later on, as I develop, I want to create knit like sweater as its own kind of archetype. But for now, I just keep it in here for now. And then you have jacket. So you have puff, bum, denim, leather, etc. Then you have coat. Yes, you have all the different options. So I need to go through some of those like peacoat, overcoat. I don't know if any menswear, like if any men still buying the overcoat. But it's a part of it. And the tailoring, so we have tailoring, bottoms, so those are common bottoms, skirt, so we have lots of options in here, and the dresses and one piece, so the dresses, we have all those options, and swim, then you have active, which is for sports. So all those archetypes wired in with a specific measurement and grading logic. So when you choose this matters a lot. For example, we have this blouse right here, so so we have this blouse right here, and I go to shirts and top, then I choose woven shirt. So I choose a woven shirt. And the grade fit, so I want this to be standard with close woven. This is the grade is in here, and also in the tech pack. So which kind of reassure that you double check your grading just in case if you forget. So once you have all those chosen, and the system will give you the bucket of your grading logic, which is chest and bust, and waist and hands, etc., according to that particular garment. So then from here, then you can go down, and you have 2 split screen. One side is for visual, one side is POM. So I have to go back here. I generate the flats if I need the flats. Like sometimes if you are using the actual photo as your production reference, you probably don't really need flats. But if you need the flats, then you generate flats. Then you wait a little bit. So this will populate a flats in here from front and back. So while we're waiting for this, and we can see this side. So we just like drag the screen. So this is a POM side. Right now it has the red. It looks like a warning, but it's not. This is just to tell you we are using this as a reference. So we're taking designers as a reference, and we use that as a benchmark fitting reference. So when it's saved in your library, when you kind of like take it out, oh, okay, so this is reference. It's not my, my actual original design, unless you want this to be. But I did put in here in case if anyone think it's useful. And the brand. So there is a flats. So it cut off a little bit in here, but this part I need to fix that. But in general, I think it's pretty decent. It has a really great amount of detail, just like WGS and flats. And so in here, you can, I also created a little kind of drawing marking space. Think about this as like very simplified Illustrator in here, although you cannot change any of the design, but you can add mark. So if I use a line tool, so I say this part is what, or the arrow tool, I want this part to be certain type of stitches. If I want a curve, so this is, so this, and then I can kind of like change the direction. I mean, this is very basic, but it allows you to have this function. So in case if you need to mark in a certain area, to tell your pattern maker or your tech designer where I want this to be a certain way. So this is curve. And this is a pencil tool. If you have a kind of like a Wacom tablet, you can write down your notes in here. So you can also type. So I want this to type in certain type of stitches need to be, wider, etc. You can type in your notes in here. And the eraser, then you can just click on any area that, oh, I don't need this, and just erase those area. The picture is where that you can upload details. So I want, maybe I want neckline to be a certain way if I have, so it disappears because it stays on the eraser. So then I go here. So then I can move this to this part if I want this to be a little bit bigger. So I want this to be bigger in here. Then I can use arrow, then just point that, yeah. So that's that. Yeah. So you can also upload your Pantone coding here for these particular colors and washes within or any of the visuals that you think is relevant to this particular design. So that's for the creating part. I'm going to split this part to here. If you are looking at this chart, you probably don't really need to look at this because I already finished everything. You can hide your canvas. So once you hide your canvas, this gives you an entire view of what your POM look like. So let's starting from here, the brand, then you can just type in your brand. This is DAF Lab, for example. And the style name, maybe this is just a top, and the number 0918, etc. So this is a spring summer 2028, for example. So this is a woven blouse. Base size, in the industry we use medium as a base size, and then we move down, move up. So medium is always the best area that we want to use, but you can choose others if there's certain specific requirement for your grading. And the size range, the size system is really great because it doesn't only just providing alpha, it gives you US, EU, and UK, and JP. JP is Japan. So you have all different region for the way how it's the label, the size, how it's marked. So for the this is US, and for now we just use alpha, and we have a size steps, so 1 and 2, and fit preset, fit option. So here we have that again, closed fit, standard, roomy, etc. Body blocks. So body block we have ASTM, and we have ANO, and we have custom. So we have 3 different options in here. But this is by no means like taking the data from Avalon. So this is just using their foundation blocks as a base. Then depends on the archetype that we chose. We kind of reiterate on top of that to give you the better fit of your garment. So you can also type in your own measurement if you have measured out. And the fit region. So the global is kind of universal fit, but if you have a certain type of market, we all different sizing. So the China is a little bit kind of smaller and shorter than Europe and North America, then you can choose any of those. And yeah, so that's for that. And then here, show guidance. If we want this to be custom, then show guidance, this is where that you change your chest, your body chest, your body waist, and body hip. So this is where you enter your desired number, then you apply fit target. So every time you do that, you apply fit target, and this will populate the numbers according to your target fitting. So for me, I'm going to just go back to ASTM and go back to global, and I'm going to hide this. So this right here, POM and audit. So this will give you a score, accuracy score 99 out of 100. This doesn't mean that your measurement is 100% accurate. This is just telling you the system has scanned your reference and it provided 99% of the data in here. Yeah. So if you scroll down, there's certain area you definitely need to review. That's why we want to use AI as a foundation, as kind of a system, but we cannot fully trust everything. But this is great as a foundation because it provides very good base. So all you need to do as a designer or tech designer is to review. Yeah, so this is this part we need to kind of look into. Is there anything that we need to change, or is this measurement is logical and reasonable? So then you can change that, and it just goes through this list. Let's see, yeah. So everything else is just a POM chest. So this is the chest area that you might need to go through those numbers and grade and see if you need to change. Otherwise, it's good to go. And then you go to BOM, bill of material. Bill of material, the system is very smart. It look at your reference, and they tell you exactly what type of material that you should buy or you should consider use for this particular style. So it gives you fabric specs, colors, etc. And all those can be changed. Yeah, so you can click this and you can change. I don't want this multicolor. I want this just to be a solid color. Yeah, then you can upload your visuals. So for example, this is not that, but you can upload in here, and then you can upload all your material in here. And trim and hardware, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Trim and hardware BOM. So this is give you kind of overview of what you are expecting to buy. Yeah, so once we have, and this is like everything else, like zippers and this and that, so that you will consider buying for this particular garment. So this is this part. And then you go to production. So the production gave you 2 information. So I think this is probably not very useful for factory. They already know what to do, but this is very helpful for students or for designer, small brand designer who's just starting out, because then it helps you to understand the terms and terminology and professional use of the production process, what type of stitches, etc. Yeah, like a lot of those I never knew. So until I actually making this app, so which is very humbling process. And production budget I did put in here because I think it will be very helpful to have a kind of budget control awareness, because sometimes you have great idea, but then your design might, be too expensive, or you kind of, as you go, then you just realize that you overspend money. So then this will estimate how many quantity, as far as how much that you will expect to spend. The great thing about the studio is it's kind of a little bit higher estimation of the cost, because I created the app with very sustainable and US first approach. So a lot of those kind of filters through using very cheap materials or kind of cheap labors. So that's why the estimation of the cost is slightly higher. But this is helpful because it's better to be safe. Yeah. So then you can move this quantity, order quantity, and then you can see how this number change. Then you have a better understanding how many should I order for this style. If I have my retail lined up and my they need like 5 pieces, then I can just see what number I get in here. The range is very big. It really depends on what type of material that you buy. So it's like $300 to $900. This is $30 to about $80 range. So it depends on the type of material to buy. So then this is for the starter, and this is for the safer buffer. So it's kind of in the middle. And this is for you when you scale up. When I'm gonna selling this design for like 2,000 units, then you can see the estimation of how much that it will cost. So the quality control and overhead for this particular piece is 14%, but you can always increase the number just to be safe. Sometimes it's 16. And so that's for the production budget range. And in here, labeling and branding. So usually this will automatically recognizing the style of your garment. It will provide the most suitable options for you automatically, so you don't have to think about. But if they're particular unified label that you already ordered, then you can just type it in yourself. Yeah, so and packaging and shipping, again, because I created this program with awareness of sustainable approach. So when the system read everything, it will recommend sustainable first. So the packaging, it's all kind of using the sustainable material and shipping as well. But you can also change according to your current situation. Yeah. So so that's for the production part. The vendor discovery is very cool. I always like to come here and scan. So the vendor discovery is to find where to buy my fabric, which factory I can contact, because sometimes we have very hard time to source. So this is a fabric vendor, and then you can go here and look at US first or global, then low MOQ. US first, and you can scan, and when you scan, it will just provide you more options. So then you have a lot of links. They are not like a specific fabric vendor website, but usually it can like collect all the data from the internet where the article published, where you can find the certain vendors. Then you can just open the link and see what's the offer. Like this one, I never know about this, but then you have that options in here, so you can see, oh, okay, so this is a pretty cool vendor. Maybe I can reach out to. And then the factory match. So the factory match is same idea. So usually it recommends the top 5 or top 6, but then you can always scan web and to see more options. The shipping, packaging is also the same way. Then you have all those options in here. Then if you want to see more, like I want to see more global, then you click global and scan web, and the fabric vendor will kind of change, will become, reaching out to the international vendors. Let's see, is it doing? Yeah, there you go. So when you do the global, there's a lot of like unknown because it's international. We don't know exact, but we can look. You click this. So this goes to an agency. So it shows you fabric suppliers, etc. So there's a low MOQ. If you are in Europe, and I think this can come in handy. So that's for that. Generate. This is I'm gonna bring back our canvas because we are going to take a look at the generate site. We have our models and garments. We are going to see what options we have in here. So we have model prompt. So model prompt shows your front, side, and back views of the garments from reference, and then you can just click model generate. So it's very, kind of like straightforward. This is not a place for you to do, campaign or editorial. This is just to really kind of like facilitate your product, your design process, and then you can see how this design visualized in model, front and side and back. It does take a little bit of time in here, so you just have to wait a little bit. So it's creating the product views as well. And the product view is your garments front and back and side, front and back and detail, no side. And packaging, which is creating the different idea and concept for the package. So those are the example I posted on LinkedIn, so you probably have seen those. Some different ideas of how to package your garments. Oh, well, it gets a little bit too small. I don't know what happened. So yeah, I was messing around this earlier, but what it should do is, let me show you. So I'm still working on this, so it's not 100% there yet, but it's like 95%. Once I finish this part, then it's ready to go into the beta testing. And again, this is not like the core element of this app. The core part of the element is this. This is the golden part because it saves you so much time, and it will provide you a foundation that you can just build on top of that, and you have different garment archetype that you can work with. So it should be, let's see, it should be this, yes. So those are the one that I generated from the studio, and those are some of the packagings that I created earlier. So this should give you kind of an overview of what the studio can create visual-wise. So it helps you to still connect with your design and your product without feeling like you are buried underneath of the data, your Excel sheet. The Excel sheet is really daunting. Like when my students, when the designer showed me all those, I'm like, wow, this is what you do every single day. So there's no designing, you're just like filling in all the data. So if we can use this, we can use a studio tool. One is connecting the data with your visuals and make you feel like you're looping the process. Also, it make your time so much more efficient. And usually you create, let's say, 3 or 4 products per day by using the Excel sheet. But if you use a studio, then you can create maybe 10 or even 20 if you have already measurements laid out, and then you just type it in, and then you can like populate all those for you. So once you do that, once you finish everything, then you can click print full. And so this will get you into the PDF, and then you can just print from here. You can also export this from the CSV. So then you will open this as a CSV file. So they give you kind of this in general POM chart. And this one will get you into the Excel. So if you're still using Excel, so then you can also export this into the Excel sheet. And then this is covered, this POM, this is BOM, this is construction. Then you can also add your pictures in here as well. So yeah, and one more thing for this, because I consider this a lot of factories overseas, like if you're working with factories in China, I heard my friend telling me that they spend 3 hours translating. So there are days of doing like the manufacturing environment that they spend 3 hours translating all those. So what you can do is when they do translating, and the errors happens in the middle of the translation. So I think it will be make much more sense if we embed the language translation here. So we have English, Spanish, Chinese. So you choose which factory that you're actually working with, and you can just convert this entire thing into their language, and then you can send the file to them. So yeah, later on we'll include more language options in here, but this is what we have so far. So some other areas like design intent, this is still kind of in progress. So this gave you options for your first proto, your second fit, your size set, and your TOP. This one is not in here yet, but this will be kind of second phase. That's why I want to work with a small group of experts. Yeah, I'm a pretty decent, solid AI, not expert, but I know pretty good about AI. I'm able to create stuff like that, but I'm no expert in production at all. So with the technical at all, I'm no production. I'm not expert in those areas at all. So I would like to invite one or work with a group of experts and people, so we can help to shape this product going further and to be even better, and to also test the accuracy of those data. Are those like great, or are these like making nonsense, right? So I think that's really I want to see how the proto comes out in comparison to the all those information we get in here. But so far, I have been working on this. I show you my library. It's like all those I've been working on those nonstop. So far it's good. And I have my measurement out, and I upload to Chat and Gemini and all the different. I will let them read. Let me know if this is good, and they will give me the feedback. So far so good, I would say. But still, I think it will be much even better if we can have the actual product production to use and see how useful this system would be in your workflow. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much everything for the studio. And I do have advanced generation. You don't have to do a full build. If you have flats already, you can just go to spec build. Spec build is you upload your drawing, your flats drawing in here. So you can just ignore all those, generating image, generating flats. If you already have flats, then you can just upload a flats in here. Let's see. If you have already made a flats, then you just upload in here. Now I just need a POM on this. I don't need anything else. Then you can come to spec build, and you create your POM from there. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything. So it's yeah. Does anyone have questions so far?
No questions for me. This looks amazing. It's really
You guys have questions? Denise? Or Jonathan? No.
I do actually have a question. Sorry, I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking at my screen over here. So I specialize in sportswear design. Are you thinking about adding anything, kind of like taped garment, like taped jackets and bonded seams and things like that. Because usually that's where I find there's a difficulty, especially when I've been generating things. It's like, do tape seams, and it doesn't understand what that is.
That part I haven't fully tested, but it's already wired in if we do like very compressed sportswear design. So usually you want to look into the close fit for like sports bra or leggings. And so this is like second skin. And in the archetype of the garment, then you would choose, so you would choose active. So in the active area, we have those 4 options so far. But I can definitely add more archetypes in here according to, what are the common items in the active wear or like what type of design that you do the most. Because like I said, I'm no expert in a lot of areas. So I don't know every single details. I really want to see how you guys respond to this, and then I can improve. Let's say I need windbreaker, for example, where I need this, where I need a type of ring gear, etc. Then those are all can be considered added into the active sections. Yeah. So, but this is what we have so far. Like we have bra, legging, bike shorts, and track jacket.
Great.
Yeah. Does anyone else have a question?
I was just going to ask about is this launched, or are you planning to launch this? Or
I'm planning to launch. So it's like I said, it's 95% ready. I just have to just tweaking and fine tuning the image area, so the generating part. But everything else is already good, solid, ready to go. All those are ready to go. The only thing is this part I need to kind of fine tuning, so making sure the image is big enough so they are not drifting. Sometimes I found this kind of drift a little bit when it comes to image, so it becomes bigger, it becomes smaller. So I just need to kind of secure, like lock that part. So once that part is done, then it's ready to go into the beta. As first, I'm gonna do a private beta launch, which I'm not going to let a lot of people access to this because I want more professional inside feedback. To test this out to make sure this is ready to go. I do not want to be like any other SaaS product. They just like put out there and they start to go heavy on advertising and marketing. I hate that kind of stuff, and I don't want to be like them. So I think for me, I would like to go starting from small. Then as we go, then people who contribute knowledge and expert in this can make this become a better product for users. So yeah, that's my plan. So then that would be phase 2. So as I posted on LinkedIn, I would like to have 8 people working together with me. So I would like to have different sectors from educators. I would like to have professors who teach technical and actually do this, and also professionals like you, Hyla. You can also consider if you are interested. So like active sports expert, and I need a menswear expert, I need a women's wear expert, and I need children. So I want to have one of the experts from different sectors. Then we group together, then we shape this product, and we make this very powerful and useful for the third phase will be launch that as a real product again, like kind of cap with amount of people that use it and then get more feedback. So it's a working in progress. So it's launching, getting small feedback, and the launching again, get more feedback. Then once it's stabilized 100%, 100 nobody can guarantee a perfection. So let's say 95%, then I can release to the public. Yeah. So that's so far my idea.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd be interested in being involved in your looking out.
That would be great. Yeah, so we can talk about, I'm going to send out the application form, so then you can fill in your information, your contact, etc. There will be a little requirement for the time commitment into this because I want to have a meeting like this, maybe like once a week or once a week. I think that would be sufficient. Like on the weekend, we can get together and you can show me how where it can be improved, where that got issues and problems, and where we can make it better, something like that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Does anybody else have a question? I think everyone else is very quiet.
My computer's switched, so I can't actually turn my mic back off. So I'm going to I might leave
I think that this is great. Yeah. If nobody has more questions, I think we can end in here. Hopefully, Denis recorded this. If not, that's fine. Well, I guess that's it. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah. Thank you, Helen.
It's been really good. I'm ready to go.
Yes. Yeah. We'll keep in touch and keep eye on the LinkedIn post when I start asking for the application, and then you can start filling the applications. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.